Welcome to Boomer Bongo Boulevard. I'm Mike, just Mike. Along with me is Ron, just Ron in the Orioles cap. I'm in a Delta
Memorial
State
Day
University.
Orioles cap with the camo.
Camo Billy.
I
I,
forget
I
what year
couldn't.
it was. It was like 2020 or something. Maybe they do it different every year.
I thought you had a beanie on there because I couldn't see the brim because it was
It's
camo.
invisible.
Things that are camo, you can't see them. Um, the it's season 3, episode 14, number 104 on our total number of shows that we've put together. And last week, Ron, we were having such a good time talking about cars and the way they used to be as opposed to the way they are now. And we didn't get through all of our notes. I had quite a few notes, and
Yeah.
I know you did as well. At any rate, what's something we didn't get around to talking about last time that
Well,
you want to
I,
talk about this
I
time?
wanted to talk about how music has changed in cars.
Oh,
The first radios in cars were, of course, AM because FM didn't really wasn't really that popular yet, or you couldn't really get it in a car at
right,
that point.
right.
But that was just from the time I was a kid, and you were in high school. We went just in a couple of years. You went from listening to the AM station to listening to the FM stations.
Right.
Because you got your hands on a AM FM 8-track stereo that
Oh, well,
I don't know who installed yours, but it's usually like a friend or something. And see, that's
yeah,
another thing that I miss too. Like I know I put a couple of different tape players and radios in my car, and that's what you do. You get with a buddy, and get out under the in the shade in the car, and you guys would take everything apart and would crawl into there, man, and you put your dead gum tape player and radio in.
well,
That's what we did.
the before the 8 tracks came in, and they really did revolutionize music in the car
Mhm.
because you could finally listen to what you wanted to listen to without commercials. But the before that, the people had tried to various types of record players
Yeah.
that could be
Hmm.
brought along in a car. Of course, anybody that knows anything about a record player knows that this wasn't going to work because they're so sensitive anyway, and it's so
Yeah.
easy to make them skip. And that's exactly what happened. So they weren't
Yeah.
very satisfying. But and you're right about the FM radio too. The way I mean, you could get FM radio, and it was
Hmm.
kind of revolutionizing everything.
Yeah.
And the way I remembered it was slightly before the 8 tracks became popular. But
Hmm.
at the end of the day, the 8 tracks just sounded so bad. They were so
Yeah.
muddled and muffled sounding, and people what I mean, it just lasted a few years, and
Yeah.
people didn't invent things. Those guys, not us, not me, were frantically looking around for something that would work, and then they came up with something that worked really well, and that was a cassette player. And those cassette players that are um, up until recently, you could occasionally find a car. They were usually, weirdly enough, high end cars
Yeah.
that had cassette players still in them because a lot of people had a lot of cassettes that they liked, and these folks with pockets full of money, wanted to have a car that could
Yeah.
play CDs and cassettes. And I've got an older car now that's got a CD player in it, also has a cassette player in it, and of course got AM FM
Yeah.
radio, and doesn't have anything digital. Pretty easy to put digital stuff in there,
Yeah.
but my goodness, things just once that door got cracked open by the 8 tracks, and the 8 tracks did do it.
Yeah.
Um, I guess the symbol, Ron, of that time period for 8 tracks was what, a folded up piece of cardboard,
Yeah.
because everybody pretty quickly went to that. You had to put that
Well,
cardboard in to keep the eight
I
track
always thought of the
working properly.
cassettes as like, to me, they made a lot of sense because they looked like a mini version of the Dead Gum reel to reels that
Yeah,
had come before
the
that people,
cassettes. Yeah,
listened to. It was basically you just had a reel to reel that was inside a little container, self contained reel to reel, that flipped in and, would play, you know.
well, I've still got some cassettes that play and
Oh, I
play
got
well,
tons. Yeah, that
and
are in good shape.
and we have a cassette player hooked
So do
into our
I.
stereo
I have one
system here
sitting
in the
right here to my
house.
left.
Yeah,
As a matter of fact, pretty nice one.
yeah.
There's a cassette in this player right here.
You know, a little slightly off the topic. Yeah, everybody used to have one of those. I still have something
Yeah,
like that over in
I got
one of the
about
bedrooms.
3
But
or 4 of them.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know this. You probably do, but the old VHS tapes
Mm-hmm.
have
Did a lot
great
of those too.
sound. They have great sound on them. Have you ever
Mm-hmm.
recorded any music onto a VHS tape, a blank VHS tape? Because it
No.
it sounds really good. Quality sound. Of course, at the end of the day, anything is tape. You're taking the life of the tape in your hands
Yeah,
when you
it's
put
going
it
to
in the studio.
degrade eventually. You
Yeah,
got to take
something.
care of them. I mean, mine are still around. You know, I've got several sitting on my desk because I have what my camera's resting on right now
Yeah.
is a laptop, and the laptop is literally hooked up to a Sony VHS. I'm
There
looking
you
at
go.
right now.
So you can.
that
So
I use to digitize home movies and stuff.
well, I know somebody that I casually know uh, has quite a collection still on VHS tapes and has
Yeah.
several VHS players and knows how to work on them, repair them, and he uses them to play music all the time. And also, you can play 2 or 3 straight hours of music, maybe
Yeah.
longer than that. Well, if you go to the setting on the VHS where it plays for what 8 hours or 6 hours or whatever it is, the
Yeah.
quality goes down as you might
Yeah.
guess, but still, it's 2 hours of music that you've selected. That's nothing to sneeze at. Um, you're you ever? I guess we talked a little about stick shift, but did you ever drive a stick shift?
Now I have one right now.
Oh, that's right. You told me that,
Yeah.
and that's just something that's going away, and you kind of hate that, but
Yeah.
because it's a lot of fun. You can still get it on some sports cars. I think probably
It's
the
a
most
pain
popular.
when you're in a traffic jam. No, I'll tell you that. Or
Yeah,
on
yeah,
on a
yeah.
downgrade going up a hill and you're in a traffic jam, it's a real pain. But
Um,
you know, but otherwise, if you're on a long trip, it's pretty cool. And
you
just
know,
driving around town normally, if you don't have to do a lot of stopping,
you know
you
what?
know.
One of the things that that we used to deal with the older cars when we were growing up was cup holders.
Mm-hmm.
The old cars really
They did
didn't
not
give
have
much
them.
thought to. I mean, everybody I know when I was growing up had some kind of little plastic thingamajig that they hung on the car somewhere that would hold a
Yeah,
cup, and of course it would the drink would find a way to spill out eventually, or the cup holder would fall out of position eventually. And that is one huge advantage that you have with the newer cars now is my truck has one, two, three, four, six cup holders
yeah.
in the
Well, you don't
front.
have 37 ashtrays in there anymore. There's no
Oh
more
yeah,
room.
yeah. I used to have a bunch of
I mean,
extra.
used to be like, man, if you were a smoker, it was like, I got an ash on it. I can jump on my head. And shit, I can put it
Yeah,
anywhere. You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I feel like Seinfeld when he's doing anybody can just take reservations. He's flipping cigarettes everywhere.
Well, of course, now if you didn't smoke in the old cars, all the ashtrays, that was a great place to keep your change. Now
Keep your
you have a hard
change,
time
yes.
coming up somewhere to keep your change because I could never keep change in my pockets because it came out of my pocket. I needed somewhere to throw it. And, of course, now a crackhead will break into your car for 75 cents worth, 3/4 laying inside. So
In one car I had, it was so weird. Only car I ever had this in. I don't know if you ever had this. This was one of those things that, sometimes they would like to try things in cars and they just didn't quite make it.
right,
I had a thing like that. It literally had all the different shapes of the change. It was right there below the radio, and you
yeah,
could just shove change in there, and it would stack up where you could pull it out.
yeah. I've
A
actually
little
got
change
something.
dispenser. Yeah,
I've got something like that in my F-150.
yeah.
It's
I
just a
never
little.
used it because I didn't
Yeah,
trust that the change wouldn't go through there and fall in there
yeah,
somewhere
yeah. You
and be
can't
rattling
ever trust.
around until the end of time.
The only place you can stick change where it'll stay is your CD player. You can stick it right in the mouth of the CD player. Of course, it'll never come out, but you can keep it in there. Um, one thing that's really great, and I'm not down on newer cars all the way, although I
Yeah,
mostly am. But one thing that really is great about newer cars, and the old cars couldn't even think about having it, were just remotes.
yeah,
Remotes are great. Opening a car with a remote is great,
yeah.
and locking it with a remote's great. And The old cars, you had to make sure all the buttons were pushed down and double check the doors and all that. But that's a small thing, but boy, it's a huge thing to the point that a lot of people don't even know how to operate their car unless they've got
No,
their
they don't.
buttons.
And they go in
Uh,
looking for blinker fluid and stuff. And
so, are you a
oh,
bucket seat guy, or did you prefer bench seats?
uh, I don't really care. It's okay to have the separation because you can at least move it around and
Yeah,
kind of do it the way you want. And my favorite thing is uh, adjustable steering wheel, probably. Because
yeah,
everybody doesn't like pulling them down, and low riding like I do. But
yeah. That's right. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah, the
yeah,
way you can adjust your steering in and out,
yeah,
the way the wheel collapses up and down,
hmm
and also you can move it further or closer to you,
yeah,
and it's great for really tall people, or
yeah.
sort of tall people, and really small people. I mean that's one thing, the steering wheel being adjustable, which is, I guess that's on every car now.
It's
Is
on
that
every
required?
one that I've had recently. Yeah. Um,
Is it required?
I don't think so. I wouldn't think it would be. Maybe it is.
Just hard to
Um,
sell it. Hard to
yeah,
sell a car. If
yeah. Um, I've had cars that the seats wouldn't hardly adjust. You know.
yeah,
Um,
um, I do like I do like the I mean, I tell you what was good about bench seats was that, and I don't guess any car has bench seats
yeah,
on the front anymore. Every car that I've seen
yeah. I hadn't seen
ever
that in
has
decades.
bucket
Yeah,
seats, which can be very comfortable. But the it's kind of bad if you want to lie down or
yeah,
stretch out when you park. You have to crawl over in the back seat to stretch out if there's room back there, depending
yeah.
on what kind of car you've got. Uh, so I mean, and um, like if you want three people to ride in the car up front, it's just
hmm
impossible and be legal. And you used to be able to do that with a bench seat. You don't prefer it. You don't want to be crowded up, but you could do it, and it was kind of nice if you had six people that were trying to go somewhere and you only
Yeah.
had one vehicle. Better than sitting in each other's laps.
Now I'll tell you something would be fun to do. Get a kid that's, and I'm calling kid anybody that's, I don't know, below 40.
Yeah,
but
that's right. You kid.
and you know, throw them keys to a car, most any car from the 1970s, and go, hey, could you gas that thing up for me? And just don't say anything. And just set up a camera. It'd be hilarious, man.
It
Watching them
would
trying
be
to find the gas tank, man.
right, because where is it?
Yeah. They would
Probably
never
where.
think to look behind the freaking tag.
Yeah, just flip that
Because
tag
that's where
down there.
almost all of them were in the 70s. Almost every one of them was behind the tag.
I was thinking about that the other day, but it's logical. The reason that went away, I think, as much as anything, because it looks sleek,
hmm
was self-service gas stations.
Yeah.
Because once gas went self-service, there were just a lot of people that couldn't squat down that low. I mean, if you had
Yeah.
an elderly person, almost anybody over 50 didn't
Yeah. I
want to
wouldn't
bend their
mind
knees.
doing that. I didn't like it.
Oh,
You know.
you had to bend your knees like a catcher in a baseball game though to
Yeah.
get down there to open that thing.
Yeah.
And if there was for some reason it was a little hard to open, it's that much harder because you're squatted down in kind of a weird position.
Yeah.
Plus, gas is more likely to spill out. It would occasionally burp gas back
Yeah.
up, and that wasn't good. So, but the look is not good.
Yeah.
The gas, it ruins the lines of the car to have that little gas flap right there on the back of your car. But every car has a gas flap now
Yeah.
on one side or the other. And the other thing, Ron, the one big advantage of having it behind the tag was you didn't have to worry about which side of the pump to pull up to. You just
Boy, that's for sure. Yeah.
you just pull up to the pump, and although hey, people pulling up on the wrong side of the pump is an endless source of amusement for me. How many
Like,
people have
look
you
at your
seen?
dashboard, man.
How many times have you seen somebody pull up? Here's a pump. They pull up,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
the
I see it all the
gas,
time.
and they just turn around and pull onto the same side
hmm
over here. they think they've done something, and they've still got the passenger's door up next to the gas pump or the driver's door up next, whichever
Yeah.
place it is, and it's pretty funny, pretty humorous, and I love it. And I'm not going to help them, that's for sure. Uh, uh, yeah, Ron, cars couldn't spy on you back in the old days.
Car what?
Your car could not spy on you
Oh yeah.
back
Well,
in the
I'm pretty
old
sure
days.
mine can't. They're pretty old. So
Yeah, well, there's, that's the advantage of having older cars, maybe back 205, 203, 99, 97. A lot of people are, fixing up the old cars and continuing to drive them because, I guess starting about the 90s,
well,
cars.
mine are all paid for. That's my motivation.
Well, that's the thing. And, but you've got these, newer cars,
Yeah.
you've got these sensors that it's a little black box like an airplane has. And
Yeah.
if you get an accident and it's serious, I don't think they pull them for fender benders or anything, but if you're in a serious accident, they can pull that thing out and see how fast you were going and where you've been and all kinds of stuff. And I just don't like people being able to spy on me. I think I'd be in the right if I had an accident, but and I guess
A lot of people have cameras in their cars. That's another thing. Cameras everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have cameras in my car. We've put cameras, the little recording cameras, just because we feel like it's safer.
Yeah.
And that one.
I have one. I said installed it.
I don't think they have any cars that come with a recording equipment in them. I think that you still have to add that in.
They have rear parking cameras and stuff.
Yeah,
most of them for parking and stuff.
I'm not sure those record though. I don't think they record, but you can put one in that records. You can add one on that records, and a whole lot of people do that. I know we've got two of them. We only use one, and if we're taking a trip, we transfer it to whatever car we're taking the trip in, so that if anything bad happens and we're not, I guess if we're at fault, we just grab the thing real quick and shove it under the seat. I'm assuming we're going to not be at fault or something like that happens. Anything else you want to add that we've missed? I'm sure we've missed some things as far as
I think I had something written down. This was something deadgum. I know what it was. I saw it, but I just thought of something else. I was talking about a little bit earlier about things that they put on cars that didn't last, some things I had on some cars that I really liked that they took away. One of my favorites, I had this one car, it had two things that they took away that I really liked. It had the radio controls on the steering wheel.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. That
was awesome. The volume and stuff was right there. And you could hit seek and all that stuff in the middle. Had a little thing right there in the middle of the steering wheel. Loved that. I don't see that anymore as much. I think there's a few.
I think all that's moved to the dash.
Yeah.
To the little screen. Yeah.
Now, this was another thing I had, and I only had this on one car. Of course, it wouldn't do you a lot, like where I live now, but just every once in a while. But if you're living out, where there's maybe some little 2-lane roads, especially, and dirt roads and things like that. I had this one car that as soon as you hit the left or right blinker, it had the wrap lights, and the light, a part of the light would jump over to that side and shine very brightly to whichever side you were doing the blinker.
I don't think they've gotten away from that. There's still quite a few cars,
I don't have any that do that anymore.
Do it. Yeah,
but,
they're still doing that's a good feature, and
it really is.
The first car I had that did that was a Grand Marquis, which is a pretty old style car. They don't even make them anymore, but I was pretty impressed by it. But I've had that show up, and I know they haven't gone away from it because I've in cars within the last 2 years or 3, 2023, 2024, because I've seen that discussed before. But that's a good. And a lot of the things that have been done with cars are good. The seat belts, the airbags, the safety things.
Well, here's something you would agree with me on. They've sucked. They've always sucked, and they still suck. Jacks and lug wrenches.
It's getting worse. It's getting worse, Ron.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They've gotten worse and worse and worse. I don't even look at my jack in a car now. Whenever
Yeah.
I get one, I don't even look at it. I don't want to look at it. I'll find the spare, make sure that's fine. And if I'm going on a trip, I put my big floor jack in there with my 4-way.
Yeah. Well, you, my son's latest car, which is 2023, um, none of my none of my none of the ends of the lug wrench fit it. So
Yeah,
we've got to use the wrench that comes with it
yeah,
to, well, I guess we don't have to. I guess I could take a socket set and find one that fits it. And I probably need
yeah,
to do that. But I couldn't believe it the first time we had to change a tire on it.
yeah,
None of the 4 lug wrenches worked. And, you know, they're not the best wrench in the world, but they're awfully handy on the side of the road. You can put a lot of force on
yeah.
that lug nut to get it off. And those little weird slanted tools, you can't put much force on
Yeah,
them.
they're terrible.
I took a piece of what do you call it? CVC pipe,
Yeah,
CVC,
PVC.
CVC
Yeah,
pipe, and
PVC.
wrapped it up with some tape,
Duct
some
tape.
black
Yeah.
tape, electrical tape to make it stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And we use that as a lever when we have flats now, because on that particular car we've got it set up like that, because otherwise we don't have anything. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not strong enough. I don't think anybody's strong enough to break the lugs on the tire with that ridiculous wrench they give you. But it is the right size, so
Yeah.
we use
I
that.
have done it before, but I don't like doing it.
Yeah, I think I'm. Now that I mention it, I think I might get an old socket wrench and throw it in there and find which size socket fits it. But Ron, this guy, they've put so many unnecessary things on cars. This particular car has a cover on the lug nuts. You have to. It's a little
Yeah.
plastic cover. It
Yeah.
looks great, but you have
Yeah.
to pull it off with uh, like a little pick
Yeah.
and
It's
pull the
like,
thing off
wow.
before you can even undo the lug. So they I guess they don't want you fixing tires on the side of the road. And we've talked about that before. It's incredibly dangerous to do it anyway. So I'd rather not. But sometimes you just feel like you have to, and it's happened a couple times. So
I
anyway,
can usually find a good spot though.
yeah, you got to find a good spot. But you know, you're still out there on the side of the road with your
I don't like
attention
having to
focused
crawl
on
around
a
and find a
tire,
good
and so
spot
somebody
for
can
my.
come up and give you a hard time. That's for sure. Hey, do you get another song of the week for this, or
No, I don't have one.
I,
I did
I'm
2
going to add.
last week. I figure what the hell, that was good enough.
Well, I didn't have one. Very predictable, but I thought of it and I really like it from the movie Cars. Life
Yeah.
is a Highway. That's that's you know, it was on the soundtrack of Cars. Of course, it had been
Yeah.
released before, but it's a good, fun song. Life's a Highway, and it's pretty good philosophy too, and it's rocking. The downside about it, Ron, is if you're listening to Life is a Highway, as you're going down the highway, pretty good chance you're going to get a speeding ticket, because
Yeah.
you just feel like driving your car a little faster when you play that. But
Well,
hey,
I'll add
that's
one
what
in.
it
I just
is.
happened to think of one because there was a whole movie named after this one. Well, they call me Baby Driver.
Oh, that's
And
right.
once upon a pair of wheels, hit
That's
gone,
right.
gone. What's my number?
Who did that? Who did that song? I want
That was
to
Simon and Garfunkel.
Simon and Garfunkel. That's right.
Yeah.
Not a typical. I guess we could talk about Simon and Garfunkel one day, but we won't. You know what we need to do, Ron? Before we go, by the way, everybody hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have more subscribers.
Yeah,
And,
we got a few more this week. We're
people
over
watching.
150. Woohoo.
Yeah, 150. We hit 150. We're
151
just
actually.
slowly working up there.
Mhm.
But I was looking down through some of the shorts that we've done, especially, and we're starting to get more comments, which I'm really glad
Yeah.
to see. I hope people continue to do that. But I was thinking
Yeah,
we
I
might
like that.
devote part of an episode soon to just maybe give shout outs to, make a list and give shout outs to people who have made comments, because we're getting some really good ones, and I enjoy reading. You're the only one that can reply to them though, so
Yeah.
I don't have that ability. I need to fix it so I guess I can comment as a viewer and do it that way. But
Yeah.
I had no way of proving my authenticity, I don't think. So there's that. All right, at any rate, we'll try to do this next Sunday again and put it out. We've been doing our shows lately on Sundays evenings, and we'll continue to do that as long as we can think up things to talk about.
No,
And
I'll have a new short out tonight. I do one
yeah,
every single
good,
night.
good.
So
And don't forget, I'm. I got a text from our sister Becky, and she had gone to see Mickey Dolenz here in the last couple of
yeah,
days down in Biloxi, and that was
yeah, sure did.
she really enjoyed that, and kind of wish I could have gone, but
Yeah.
I'm resigned to the fact that I've gotten so old I just can't go anywhere anymore. I just sit in my. My neighbor was throwing out a wheelchair this afternoon to
Mhm.
the side, and he said, "Y'all need a wheelchair?" And I go, "No." When I get to that point, I think I'm going to prefer a walker. But but he goes, "Well, I'm going to throw this away. We don't need it anymore." So I don't know
You know,
why
it's
they.
really sad that I'm such a professional. I could probably teach classes on pretty much any kind of locomotion that doesn't involve actually using your legs. You know, crutches, wheelchairs, canes.
You had one of those scooters yet? Have you had one of those scooters where you?
No, but I know how they drive. I
Oh,
rode
those they
around
look
some
like
of
they look
Walmart
like
one time
fun.
when I had one of my many broken legs.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. But maybe that's for another show. Modes of limping. Anyway, I'm Mike Just Mike. Along with me is Ron Just Ron. This is Boomer Bongo Boulevard. Check in with us next week.